actually put the code up there because I cannot be bothered downloading the VOD from Twitch. I can never be bothered just downloading it from Twitch or like directly exporting it from YouTube from Twitch. So I might as well just record it now and just have it, so I can just immediately upload it from my computer and just immediately upload it to YouTube like after the stream. And yeah, so we're playing Psssttt Chronicles, continuing the what is it? I need to turn my music down. That was what I was gonna do. We're continuing the because I always turn my music up during the starting screen, or well, it was now this screen, which was switching game. I used to switching games. This is the screen I use to record my stuff on. Because I just use Twitch Studio. Might as well just use Twitch Studio for both recording and streaming. But yeah, we're continuing. What case are we continuing? The Adventures of the Traveling Room. I think that's the name of the case. The Adventures of the Runaway Room. The Adventures of the Runaway Room. That's the case we're continuing today. That's the case we're continuing today. And yeah, I'm gonna get straight into it. And then I might stream tomorrow. Might stream a little bit of Minecraft tomorrow. And just do a whole load of rambling. A whole load of just rambling. Just a whole load of rambling about stuff while I couldn't finish a build that I started building last week. Or last Sunday. So yeah. So yeah, let's get back into Chronicles. So load game. So from what I can remember, we finished like the jury section, and we should be now on to witness testimony. We're on our cross-examination. So let's read back through this because it's been a couple of days since I last streamed this. I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it, but well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Ah yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. What do you mean you think so? Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? But that couldn't have been true. Oh yes, that's right. This guy looks a little bit shocked. Let's pursue him. Mr. First. Oh, how can I help you, sir? That last statement, did it trouble you in some way? Hello, Nordic. Welcome on in, Nordic. How is Olive Chat doing today? Oh, not particularly, sir, no. If anything, he's troubling me with that hat of his. Has he greased his head? Oh dear, sir, I hope my hat's not troubling you, sir. I'm still just an apprentice, you see. Mr. Naruhodo, even though witnesses can see what's going through your mind, you really must be more careful. I wish it were that simple. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. I'm doing good. Had dinner out with Dad today and have had a really chill Sunday so far. I'm glad it was quite a chill Sunday. Chill Sundays are the best type of Sundays, in my opinion. It's like the day before like work or like school or anything. For me, it's like day before my brain goes into school mode and I have to I have to do more of my uni assignments and blah 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 blah, and I have driving lessons. So yeah, chill Sundays are the best. What did you have for dinner? What did you have for dinner? I must know. Somehow we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear... Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Kai. Thank you. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening. And thank you for the lurk, chicken nugget. Thank you for the lurk. But we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Okay. What do they
Hold it!
Let's carry on that. Let's carry on that train of thought, eh, Beppo? So there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them for this. Charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? This guy's just like staring at. Like, he's so pissed that he got charged 5 pence instead of 4. Look how pissed he is. And let me see. What is 4? I'm gonna see. First of all, I want to see when is greatest eternity. When is greatest eternity? Chronicles set. Near the end of the 19th century. So, like, I'm gonna say 1890s. So, like, at the dawn of the 20th century. So, I'm gonna say 1890s. So, what is 4 pence? From the 1890s worth now. Thank you, Stormy Edria for the follow. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hello, welcome on in, Taylor Queen. Hello, welcome on in. Welcome on in. Let me see. Well, I could just look out. Ace Attorney, yeah, Ace Attorney. Howdy, I'm lurking. Have a wonderful stream and day. Well, thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the lurks, guys. Thank you for the lurk, Stormy and Nordic. What is? Okay, I've got this like calculator up. So how about 4p? So 4p. I'm sorry, but is that a panel for Palestine resource donations? Hell yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. I have a full page down in the donations panel. I have a Wattpad page down there, and it's got like Palestine donations and like resources for like Yemen. I just put some on for Palestine and Yemen on before the stream, like maybe an hour ago, and like a ton of other stuff as well. I love you so much right now. I just hopped in. Okay, why thank you, Tita Queen. Why thank you. Okay. So 4 pence. So 4 pence. The reason I'm looking at 4 pence, by the way, is that in this case, like some of the this guy Beppo, he's like a bus driver, and the standard rate for like bus drivers for like a bus ticket is like 4p, and he charged like I think he either and that day he from this one like ride he earned 20p, and so either on this like one ride, on its like last ride of the day, he either had 5 passengers or he charged 4 passengers 5p. I'm gonna see. So 4p, and this game is set like late, it's like set late 1890s or like early 1900s. So I've just put in the value of 4p from like 1890 to 2024. 4p in 1890 is equivalent to £6.44. Jeez. And then let's look at what 5p is. £8.5. Okay, now I understand why they're pissed. First of all, £6, like £6 is already an outrageous price for a bus ticket. Like, the highest I would pay for a bus ticket would be like £4. And even then, like, paying like £2 extra, getting charged like almost £2 extra for a bus ticket is outrageous. It's out-fucking-rageous. It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out. Again, chilblains just listening to you. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a fifth passenger on the omnibus that night, then we would have had another suspect. What is it, Van Zeeks? What are you on about? Okay, yeah, he had to pay 5 pence. Let's ask him specifically what first saw. Let's ask what specifically first saw. This blood-curdling sight. You mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. What? I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. What? I'm gonna punch this guy in the fucking face. I'm gonna punch first in the fucking face. Goodness gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I had the banker gent next to me to take a sharp intake of breath, see. That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife, though, I can't help screaming, even when eating. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Let's question him more about what he actually saw. So he saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I saw, isn't it? It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? You would know. There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence. Then, what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars on me. So I couldn't work out why it was. It's something about Fairplay. Oh, we can go back. I just have to use the scroll wheel. Everything I said before. So let me see. I want to look for the evidence. I haven't looked at it. Okay, so we have the armband, Skain heritage from Kazima. We don't need that. That's literally like the attorney's badge from the Phoenix Wright trilogy. That doesn't do anything. That barely does anything. Then we have the autopsy report. Stabbed once in the abdomen. So I understand why he said like, oh, stabbed in the belly. That's like roughly around the same place. So no contradiction really there. With a knife while journeying in an omnibus, died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Yeah, stabbed. Here's a crime scene photo. Here's a missing button here. Which I put on my whiteboard as like a note. I don't know why. I don't know why, but this hat reminds me of First's hat. I don't know why though. We have We have to stab the wound with the knife. Then we have the gloves, which we've pretty much already examined the blood stain. Yeah, we've got everything examined there. Then we have the omnibus. Let's go back. Let's go inside the omnibus. I don't know if I can't remember if I've examined everything in the omnibus. So we have the blood stain now, which we examined. We examined under the sea last stream. Then we have this. Ah, that's supposedly for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Ooh, the Crystal Tower is under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. And then up there we have the skylight. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description, so I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Is there anything else? There's this. That's a poster for the Great Exhibition that she's out now. That's basically what we just said when we looked at the other poster. Is there anything else? There's the blood stain, which I'm gonna look at again. That's blood that's soaked into the sea. The victims, obviously. Yes, and that sea would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Through the skylight, of course. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Yeah. Yeah. This seat has a handle, it seems. And then there's all the storage for the driver. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubes, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horse shoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to store their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Yeah, it doesn't seem very convenient. And where the coachman, what's his face, Beppo would say, with, you know, reference. That might be a reference, 418, I'm not sure. What other... and then we've got London 5th Avenue. I don't think there's any more clues on here, really. And then we've got the murder weapon, which we can examine. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot that. I forgot that we had Kazuma's katana. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. That's blood, alright. That's blood, alright. Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood. It surely is blood. The victims. Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else to wait. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Not MacGyver. Why did I just was about to say MacGyver? I've never even seen MacGyver. Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah, what is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure about it. I feel like that's a reference. I'm afraid I don't know at all, but what I am sure of is that this is an M. Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. Yeah. Do we have any, like, characters whose initials are W in this case? Let me look at the can I look at the profiles? Can I look at the profiles? I don't think I can, actually. Debtors ledger. We haven't examined this yet, actually. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know of any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Sherlock Holmes. Actually, I wonder. I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholmes's name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not even everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness! What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay! The witness testifying at this very moment! Come on, Ryunosuke! We are literally doing a witness testimony. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, didn't he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course. This could be very useful information. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can examine in this debtor's notebook. Tell you. Let's present the debtor's ledger, maybe to this one. Let's just set implications for that statement for a moment, shall we? We got penalty for that, didn't we? What implications, counsel? Nothing strikes me about it. Exactly, there's nothing striking about it. What does strike me is your prosperity for your name, however. Ugh, I need to clear my head and come at this again from a different angle. I'm not sure about this, actually. I'm not too sure about with this. I'm not too sure about let me see. Let me have a little cheeky look. I need help on this with this testimony.
Hold it!
So he saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there's only two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? Yeah, something with fair play. It's something with fair plays. Oh shit. Yeah, it's something with fair plays. Let's go back to fair plays. Let's go back to that fifth one and try and pursue him then. I'm not gonna lie, this pursuing, I'm not too used. I think we should have gotten like more of an in-depth tutorial on this pursue mechanic. Wait, we did, didn't we? We did get a tutorial from Psssttt about the pursue mechanic. Let's see, it's this fifth one. So let's press him on this testimony. Let's... Can I pursue him? I can't... I can't pursue him on this. Let's have a look. Oh wait. Can it? It says here to pursue fair play when he reacts. I can't tell when he reacts though. Let me see. What? Maybe just being fucking stupid. Oh shit! Wait.
Hold it!
I'll have to see. Uh-oh. Why is Chrome lagging? Where's Chrome? Let's see. Why is Chrome being Chrome? Oh, we have to pursue on the third statement. What's in the fifth statement? To pursue McGilded in the line. Wait. Wait. I'm on the wrong bit. I'm on part 3. I'm supposed to be on part 2. I've been stuck on this back. My phone died. Welcome back to Queen. I'm so struggling on this one. Press on the fifth statement, then pursue. Press on the fifth statement. Press on the statement. Oh wait. Oh wait. I want this. This is the wrong statement that I'm pressing on. I knew I was confused. I've been stuck on this for 35 minutes. Oh my god, I was on statement 4 the whole time, not statement 3. Not statement 5 even. Earlier you testified you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding a knife in an ice pick grip. I suppose I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. That's when I turned around. Yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all? I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing. That!
Excuse me!
That makes more sense. Go on. so obvious now that I know what to do now. There's something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay. Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened? Could he have had just could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? No way! He was driving the cab when the crime was committed. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene. I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do all that, alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed him? They weren't exactly blood-soaked though. Let's just pretend the gloves. Blood-soaked? Hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-coloured stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent with the evidence. but no, that can't be right. So you're the liar here then? Yeah, you can't fool the jury. That's right, you're quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Yeah, exactly, Fairplay. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. I don't know why I was about to merge the words testimony and question together. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that the witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. Nah. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, but is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, the debtor's ledger, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have evidence. We have evidence. It's the debtor's ledger. My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. The debtors.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? I suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that a loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you in fact never saw? In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Dude, stop biting on your staff, that must fucking hurt. Order, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. These guys definitely have Cockney accents. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? I thought you were committing perjury, mate. Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did. Overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? Well, it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands. Both. Objection! And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. What is it first? I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir? Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. Yes, I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just the one. What? What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself clear? Yes. This guy, man, this guy. Mr. Naruhodo. This is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Witness testimony. Okay, I think we're about halfway through the second part. I think. And then we've just got part 3 to do. What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard the scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we would have seen. Really? I doubt that. I highly doubt that, if I'm being honest. Well, lo and behold, in truth or fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well, your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Cross-examination time. I think it's that last statement. It's that last statement. Which I'm gonna be like, was there actually only 2 people in that last bit? In like the in the cabin? I know. Let's go to. There was someone saying it. Was it? First? It was either first or fair play. It was fair play. Why are we being so hard on fair play, man?
Hold it!
Yeah. Might as well. And as you saw, the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right, and it's a public boat service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you, I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these 2 witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin from the skylight? Maybe not. Maybe not. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin throughout the skylight and the floor of the upper deck, is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You'll identify the area on the cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in that omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Well, so since these seats are seated this way, I know this way, then Fairplay would have, and oh my god, my camera is so bright. It's so bright, oh my god. Then obviously the Fairplay and First would have been sat here, looking down, and so they wouldn't have been able to see these seats.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here. Ah. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
It's quite possible someone's sitting there. Your Nicodemus has a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? Maybe? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was outside from the witnesses on the roof deck? I have an inkling. Maybe McGilded. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. Yep. Yeah. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin as of mute was. This is our profile section that I mentioned earlier. I don't understand why we can't just easily switch between profiles and like physical evidence like we can in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and I think you can do it in Apologistics. We'll have to see next week when I stream case 2. But here we have every character in this case so far, excluding Ryunosuke and the judge. But we have some of the main figures. So we have Susato Mikotoba, our judicial assistant. Male Strongheart, the Lord Chief Justice. Magnus McGilded, our defendant. Baron von Zeeks, the prosecutor. Thrice Fired Mason, the victim. Beppo, the driver of the omnibus. Bruce Fairplay, the banker. And Thirst, the other witness. So I'm gonna present McGuilty as the other passenger. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
What? That could have set fire, mate. Why did you do that? If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive my discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. But as you can see, that's not what... Can I get up? Can I get... people, yes. That's not what McGilded wears. I can see he has like a purple suit with like a pink bow tie. And you would be able to tell if this was purple and like a pink bow tie. Like this is like a pink like scarf. Let me get up the victim. Oh, I know, it's like a dull, like brownish pink. But you would be able to you would probably be able to tell. You would probably be able to tell. And I cannot remember if it was wearing a waistcoat. I think he was. But you would be able to tell. You would be able, I mean, they are wearing the same clothes, just not the same color clothes. But you would be able to tell, like, that this was McGilded based on, you know, the color of his clothes. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But you didn't see his face, so you can't say 100% that it's McGilded. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yeah, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the garment remains. The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly, they both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of the event is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify, and the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order, what exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The top of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. What particular styles of hats did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. Do you call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to depose that fact. Unless, that is, you're proposing an even more preposterous explanation, that the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he travelled. You know what? That's a fair point. That's a fair point from the prosecution. He's right. If there was another person travelling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made his full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Ah yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favourite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. I love the little lady. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Let's go. what actually happened at night will finally become clear. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? Look at this guy, and you actually can't tell if he has a waistcoat on, which is unlike in the can we see him? We can't see him in the crime scene photo, but in the other photo that was shown, not too long ago, I forgot, I didn't read what it says. It showed that the guy sitting next to the victim had a waistcoat on, and we can't tell if McGilded has a waistcoat on because he has his suit jacket button up. To be sure I have, my lord. There are now 2 matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defence. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Begad, no. It is not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you all or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded. Yeah, what's going on, McGilded? The fine fellow represented me is absolutely right. In the carriage in the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... What? McGilded! What the fuck? No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. And you'd be having a very good reason, I assure you. This man for sure is a novice. Which was, well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not in any way involved, you see. A child? What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have ordered her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That, I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since. Well, because she's been arrested since and you've not been in public. We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witnesses' statements to be disregarded by the court, or we cross-examine them with evidence. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Wait, what the fuck? Smell! It's like, it's like get away. After them. It's no use. I can't see anything by the smoke. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. What the fuck? I knew that wine would. I knew that wine would do something. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the cabin. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. To be continued. We have one more part, I believe. Save. Progress? Yes. Trial part 3. We have trial part 3 left. What, you know what would have happened if I had streamed this last week instead of Apologist this last week? This would have been super funny if this was streamed on the 18th instead of this week. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Mrs. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of things ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. I'm just going to turn my mic down a little bit. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Oh, Oh wait. Fairplay did say that he was charged 5 pence. So the math is no longer mathing. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there are in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We're going straight away. Unless the young girl was like Beppo's a door or something, and he just like let her on for free or something. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. Imagine if it's like Pavlova or something from the last case. But then again, wasn't she dropped off in Hong Kong after the last case? I don't remember. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Mr. Sato. Yes. Okay, we have our witness. We have what's his name? McGilded. Ah, okay. This isn't Pavlova. I was like, oh, this might be Pavlova. But I don't think it is Pavlova. That's young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks. My lord? I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which failed proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught, and now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilded? I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that? 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, it is. Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what happened that night? Putting the 20p on the board because the math to remember that for later. It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information and everything. Witness testimony! Yeah! On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and probably nodded off. Oh yeah, do we have any W names that came with that would have been on the sword? Because if you remember from earlier, it said an M on the sword, like an engraved initial, but also that like it could have been flipped over and said W. So do we have? And we don't have the girl in the. We don't have the girl in the profiles as of yet. So we'll have to see if one of her initials is W maybe, and maybe that's her. Maybe that's her knife. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, Begora, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remained somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? Maybe she's just like a stowaway, like Ryunosuke was last case. 'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. I have no idea where to start either with this cross-examination. We could just start by like pressing stuff, I guess. Let's save first here though. Back. Okay, we have 5 pieces of. We have 5 statements. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not, no. There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were. I see. Aye. That's why I took the backside as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. 'Tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which a poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable, where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That's odd noise. So I think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the ground, falling to the floor even, having been stabbed. Well now, you remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there was a soul to be seen in the carriage, but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume? No above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes.
Hold it!
You set him up, the victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor, now would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. So I find that a little hard to believe. Ah, our Lord Van Zeeks. Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Ready to put me in the lamp, please? Which charger is it? It's this one. What is it, McGilded? Well, now as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. Debt collection. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them. And some would even see me dead. Listen, need to concentrate. Listen. So I do try, where all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle of trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heaven's alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had in mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. The wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes. The scream he says he heard this at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing.
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you took the cut that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious. Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found that there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course, the whole bus was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around the inside. And that's when I found her. We already had a thorough look inside earlier.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and set her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag of her. The seat opposite? That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there. So this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fellow's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. Thirst, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage outside. This is getting kind of insane. It is certainly plausible, but the pieces are fit in like kind of together. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realised something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She doesn't have a W in her name then. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here? A petty thief? Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you'll answer the question. How dare you? What is the meaning of this? She's gone! Ah! The girl! She's gone! That's what I just said. Open your eyes! She's there. I'm over here. Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. The stay little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner so she knifed the gen. Go on, that's what's in your head, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast. Gina, please. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright. Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel tracks. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Do you know why with that thing in my direction again? He's pouring himself another glass of wine. So, you admit that you were riding in that omnibus on the night in question? It is alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. Ah, he's Irish. This court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I have to. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. I tell you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out my skin, I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go. Fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilded. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. Because he would have saw her. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. Well, wait, he was asleep, wasn't he? I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. Oh, right, she wouldn't have been able to go out. This is where I was sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yes. It is just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course the wee lass was stuck in there, because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if her young life was ruined, when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realised your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman. My lord. This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I shouldn't have myself forever doubting you, sir. You got one more innocent? We just need to convince the juror with the typewriter. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives to clearly at the truth every time. Oh, now she's... There we go. 6 innocents. 6 not guilties. Saints alive. All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty. Listen now, hold on. This... Well, it must mean what? That we're victorious. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Fuck off, Zeeks. If to set up my iron-heeled Wellington or offence, pray do discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices, where evidence and reasoning should be paramount. Emotion rules the day. Emotion. The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness puts it, was included in their investigation. And what did they find? What did Scotland Yard find? The compartment on the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. There must be an explanation for that. Good lord. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilded's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? Yeah, that must have been put back. Order. How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Japanese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How is this all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks? He is kind of desperate. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the statement of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? It wasn't empty. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense, but as far as I can remember, at least. Well, I first examined the compartment. I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, counsel? I'd be whist. Why are you saying that, you daft dog? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand, but it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. It is not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. fellow's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. Now the court must consider the fact. Now there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why? I don't feel like something's not right here. I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. The money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Uh-oh. Can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh! It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Uh-oh. Wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice, wrong choice. That was the wrong choice. Right, so I must concur here. Uh-oh, uh-oh. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. So, 3 jurors are no longer on our side. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Wait, what's the other achievement for this case? I keep forgetting about the achievements. Completion of the episode 3, and for having identified the milliner responsible for the victim's hat in this episode. I think that's it. Don't even know what that means, honestly. Yeah, don't even know what that means. Cross-examination. Let's have a little look through it. Let us save you. Oh, it says she snuck aboard so she wouldn't have paid. So she snuck aboard so she wouldn't have paid the fare. Stuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Right, always a time. I've got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. I'm so glad my nature got me scared. This is rough on me. I'm just gonna press this one. Let's just start pressing this one. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Not job. Most days I push the cushion up with my head and look at the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. Are you a pickpocket, not a butcher? I mean, I can have a look. The sea gander ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, they say Irishmen spent the whole journey right over my head. And for that reason, you won't be able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Zobson's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanour. So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right. But then I felt the cushion over me I'd get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab the victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? I guess you did. Yeah, I saw it. You saw what? What did you see? What did you see? I pushed the curtain and had a quick butchers while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up and the bloke had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then, the fellow suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking. Let's have a little gander at the. Let's press on these first two, because we did it in a weird order. So you were already in the omnibus before I even set off on its run then? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob then, eh? That's a rum idea, innit? I suppose she means there's no point in spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Can they refrain from entertaining her tenants? Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified, and 1 little scapegrace riding for free. The red cock of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run-see. So that's why I slip into the carriage and get myself in and under the seat. And that's just easy, right? Their hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach. No. Yeah, there's brushes, buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived on the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It seems to have reached the end of the line of inquiry. Continue. So we don't know what happened with all the stuff in the compartment, basically.
Hold it!
A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on me own in the God permit, at least some of the time. I beg your pardon? Did you just say God permit? Oh yeah, well that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night. This cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events were unfolding in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister. To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. Okay, let's go back to that 5th one.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff I was. You dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. And the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. Yeah, that sounds a bit gross. Both Mians got covered in blood. Oh! Oh! That makes more sense. That makes more sense about what First and what's his face? First and Fairplay. That's about what First and Fairplay like saw. They saw Gina's hands, not McGilded's. It made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, no one would presume. Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this Irishman says to me, get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later. All 6 members of the jury have decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure it would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. What is it?
Hold it!
Let me look at this one again. So you couldn't see it out into the cabin at all. Joe, most days. Truth is.
Well, no. Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment was made something occur to you, perhaps? You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. It was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lasses at all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm so scared of the dark now. I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Pajamas, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yeah. What should we make of that last statement of hers? What was the last statement? Okay, what's the Irishman? Snoring. I'm gonna say it's important. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. Because she would have heard, what's his face? She would have heard the victim, like, falling onto the ground. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work for me. That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you're straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the curtain up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so you wouldn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat in the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve it? Eh? What a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was ready to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, see. But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So just had to stay put and listen to I'm driving his pigs to the market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we could draw from that? I wonder. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. From what we know. Mr. Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So, Van Zeeks realised it too. Yep. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence of some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the core. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. But think, Mayunosuke, think. There's something else you should have heard. Sure, person. Let's present the victim. Very well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. It was Mason. The thrice-fired Mason? Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear. It had the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding that omnibus. Oh yeah, boarding it. Order, explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub dinner. And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. That I was. Now, so was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time? Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you meant. That's what you mean. Yeah, I saw it. Saw him get on, remember? Then the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what was heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Yeah, exactly. We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks. Yes. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. What? What are you worried about, mate? It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably to me. Impeccably. This witness and her close full statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. He's dead, right? How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl's a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Ooh. Oh! Why is she playing guilty? She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she had some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I don't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Ew, that's not good. Not good at all. Ugh. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. How many glasses of wine is that? Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing. What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Abadan? This is carnage. It's perfect. Jury number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel, I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my education. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time as testified by the witness in the stand, and yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. That was another entrance. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. I wonder what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows, fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening to which, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. My brain is not braining tonight. Braining. To be fair, it's 9:30. Also, I tend to go to bed late, so. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin? Let's say here.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may be large enough for someone to pass
Objection!
through. So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support it? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Addle-brained fairy. Both Mr. McGilded and Mr. Strange said the same thing in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as a noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry. In fact, good gracious. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. Yeah, no one person made mention of such events in their testimony, unless the rooftop passengers are the real killers. Well, yes, that's true, but... May a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded. To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but them hiding it. Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree? Fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you belitherer? You rotter, he said, you rotter. Why are you insinuating? This game has such goofy animations sometimes I swear. This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. I'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay. You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. Me, a very, very angry hatter, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's I protest in the strongest possible terms. I mean, I don't really know about First, but Fairplay has a pretty compelling evidence to say, not to say that he murdered that white. I mean, technically he could have murdered. Okay, let me rephrase. He does have some kind of compelling evidence to maybe why he murdered Mason. What he could have done is he was like, I owe a debt to McGilded. I don't want to pay it off. I can't pay it off. So what I'll do is I'll get on this omnibus, I'll get on the roof, murder a guy, which capital punishment, which you know, this time capital punishment. Capital punishment was like the punishment for murder. So obviously he would have had his debts just like wiped. So fair play, murdered the guy with the help of Psssttt, and like pushed him down through the skylight into, you know, the cabin. And that would have been evidence enough, being, you know, that McGilded being the only one in the cabin, you know, other than Gina, but Gina couldn't have possibly done it because she would have been, you know, stuck in the compartment in which, you know, McGilded was sat on top of. So the only possible person who could have been accused was McGilded. So yeah, that's right. I protest too about you rotten scoundrel. Look at him, he's just laughing his head off because it's just like, this is just absurd. Order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lon Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seemed to fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accused? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimidated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rushed to push this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. Yeah, get them to testify. I bet there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that fella. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another. If there's film and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Testify! Testify! What's happening, Mr. Narhodo? The spectators in the public gallery are. They're in a complete frenzy. Testify! 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 Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord, you will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment. I don't know how to pronounce that. Indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keeping pushing forward. Witness testimony, yeah. Ooh. We were the only two people up on the roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened when we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill that man. The skylight was shut the entire time. I tell you, we couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common feelings. But I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. This one says egg up all the way. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favour, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defence, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not, Dickon. No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie, without doubt you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? Ah. 'Tis all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you, with my own eyes. This is going so well. I've been doing what was it? Maybe if you're in cahoots with each other, maybe.
Hold it!
So, you've never met Mr. Fry-Fired Mason before? I mean, no, once, never. You'd never met the man before, he said, never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who are inside the cabin.
Excuse me.
What is it? What is it, McGilded? Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing for you? What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. Why are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. An unconscionable rate of interest. You trust me, it's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on another. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do mean making hats for a living, do you not? Then that there top hat beside it on your head, is that one of your own creations, sir? Oh well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the proper fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. Perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you, they like a distinctive touch. Customers. Such as Fry-Fired Mason. Ah! There's a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence. For my lord. Oh, this you mean? I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? I literally said that earlier about the hat. Oh, that reminds me of Firsts. That's one of my hats. Aye, that is. So what seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours? You saw a customer, I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh no, sir, absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that those two fellows here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilded certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me, little interruption, hold up the proceedings. And I just got the Hat Hunter achievement for identifying this guy.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block view in a minute. Oh, I'd love to see you try. He's going to lose his block view in a minute. That's what he said. I would love to see you try as well, mate. Take a look for yourself. Go on. Except there's a latch there. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on that night. There's a latch there, you can open it clearly. So it is, of course, a fellow of the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it. It's still an all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself a bit as it happened. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Yeah, bit TMI. I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a rouge, I did. Red as rouge, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and I tried when I was inside the cabin of shame.
Excuse me.
What is it, Gina? What's up, Gina? Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. Skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open dead easy. Honestly, then you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wing, you can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them that drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears. Mr. Strain, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't opt off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. Yeah, just like we saw that thing earlier. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff. Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Yeah, it's a little, like, clasp there. Oh, my hat. See? I love how she's just casually there holding a stolen gun in court. Like, come on. Order! I need to put my phone from charge. So it appears that this street dealer statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens and from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be a clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate it for myself. Ooh. history. Not history at all. Present. Then we can examine the omnibus. Go on top of it. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. And then, can we go up on it? How? This is such an awkward angle. Oh, wait. What's that? There's like red stuff there. That's blood. That's probably blood. No, I don't want to ramble about the roof bus of the omnibus. Let's see the blood. You can certainly see inside the carriage from this open, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. It's not good for us. I can literally see the blood. No! Why can't I? Why is this so hard to just click on? Why is this being so awkward? For no reason. Why can't I click on it? Why is it just not letting me view the like blood on it? I gotta move it up slightly. Ah, why is this so awkward? I actually can't. Just stop saying the same dialogue over and over and actually that you can see. I can't like zoom in or anything. Oh wait, do we have to? No, not that. Maybe I have to view it from this angle, maybe? And so it's easier. No! We didn't move it down. I just... No! Why? Why is this so awkward? We can see. Yes, I know you can see. I know you're talking about the roof deck of the omnibus. Now, how do I... It's just kind of... this is annoying. This is such an annoying thing. Okay, I'm gonna look on it to see how we click on that. Wait, do we have to go inside the omnibus? Oh. To go inside the omnibus. That makes more sense. That makes more sense, yeah. Should we get easier? Yeah, let's go inside. And then I can more easily look up and see the blood. That would have been easier, yeah. Yeah, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Why did I have to keep someone like you two certainly missing out, Hannah. Why someone like me? Oh, what is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's without question. It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely it can't be unrelated to the case. Okay, let's go back. Back. And back. It was not shut. It was not shut the entire time. It was not shut the entire time. I know it. You know it. We all know it.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof is it remains clearly visible on the omnibus that stands before us in this very court. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. We do have evidence, though. We do have evidence. No, you can't. I mean, I didn't do what I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel, my lord, I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Only settle within the omnibus is the evidence with which you allude. You point on to what? Suppose that it's through the roof deck. We all know. Oh, there's blood on the floor. I didn't even realize that. Yes, it does open a bit. We just had this exact same conversation. Oh wait, we just gotta present it. I forgot we gotta present it instead of just point it out. By Jupiter, is that blood? This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! We're right though. Order! But the blood could have been sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight? Sure, and that would have been very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height there, right there. So it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful part couldn't have done such a thing. On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
What are you up to? What are you up to? A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. And what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight? Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. What are you talking about? Is that for all to say, and it's clearly blood? I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb, so I can state with absolute surety no such smear of blood existed in the carriage, at least not until this trial began. But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes, and all this court has been in session. What? Well, palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. Magnus McGilded, I followed on all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end, even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realise that this is your first appearance in court as an accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You are very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens, that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? Another glass of wine for him. When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Lord Van Zeeks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you will all cast your minds back, it is not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time. How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the woman and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... Could it have been possible? Could it have been possible? I don't think so. But also, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Could have been possible. Maybe. Uh-oh, why is my game lagging? Uh-oh. Everything just lagged for a second there for me. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant to be as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. The truth. There's no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh? Good gracious. What could have happened? What could have happened? Yes, there is. And it seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers the smoke bomb, yeah. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Oh god, I'm tired.
What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? Why are you trying to pull you rotten, feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. Tis a wicked plot. Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is. Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Francis, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first brought out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have an inkling. About the blood on the floor. We didn't see that earlier. My lord. Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going about now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you dare start watching your back. Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. What exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? It is... Can I not? Oh, I can. This. That's blood, isn't it? We didn't see that earlier. Is something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zieks has made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
Got it!
Let's present it. If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether the evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there is at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. this trial is over. McGilded is so suspicious now. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now. But you're the defendant. 'Tis over, I tell you. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. 'Tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts. And the fact is that bloodstain there, now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. Oh, he hasn't, has he? I'm scandalized, so I am. I'd thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. As this moment in time, this particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. And neither do we really. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defence first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yeah. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defence, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defence believes... Do we believe that he's innocent? Oh, I'm not guilty. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. Do you believe he's not guilty or innocent? I'm tempted to go either way, if I'm being honest. This reminds me of the McGuilty case, except with the McGuilty case, it's like I could more easily make arguments for him being innocent than being guilty, because with the McGuilty case from the Phoenix Wright trilogy, I could make the argument, oh, he didn't directly murder Juan Corrida, he had a hitman, which, you know, isn't technically murder, it's a different crime, it's hiring an assassin to murder someone, but it's not directly murder, so technically he would be not guilty on a technicality. But with this case, I feel like McGilded is like, McGilded is Schrodinger's cat. He's both innocent and guilty at the same time. I mean, we don't really have enough evidence. Like the omnibus is like Schrodinger's, like the box, and you know, McGilded is the cat. I'm spending way too much time over analyzing this. Oh, and if I could do polls, I could use one right now to see what you guys think, whether he's innocent or guilty. I'm gonna look at the guide to see what it says, because I'm not sure actually. From what I can remember when I looked through the guide, it says that we can choose any option, which isn't helpful. Yep, it says we can select any option, which is not helpful. You know what? For the sake of getting our third not guilty verdict technically, because we got ourselves not guilty in the investigation case, which was the adventures of the Speckled Band. I'm just gonna say there's not enough proof. I would say there's not enough proof to prove him guilty, but there's also not enough proof to prove him innocent. So I'm tempted to say innocent. As Mr. McGilded's legal representative, I don't know if this is the right thing to do though. I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But is there achievement for if we like for like 2 different endings? I don't know. Is there? I don't think there is. Okay. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe that the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of the allegations brought against him. Thank you, counsel. Here's to you, my Nepalese friend, and the most abject closing I've yet to hear in a court of law. Order! What is it? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. You saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella. You should be proud of yourself. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah! Your job here is done, fella. Your job here, and some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it. I thought the trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. Oh, this guy actually guilty. I really don't know what to make of all of this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You, mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park. She's just content with the park. Now that proceedings have unfolded this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court. But we still have to determine if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We can't prolong it anymore. We can't. This isn't like the modern day. This isn't like 2015, which is when the Phoenix Wright trilogy is set. This isn't, this isn't like the 2020s, which is when Apollo Justice is set. This is like, the 18th, 19th century. We can't do. You guys don't have the technology to determine whether the blood was genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord. But wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot show responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. Yeah, that's unfair. That's unfair to Baron Van Zeeks. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by the court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it has been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defence. Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of my land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. This guy is guilty and I regret being innocent. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGuilty. McGilded. It might as well be called Magnus McGuilty though. Might as well. Can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should examine the evidence more. We're talking about the man's claim he's innocent. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. That certainly was a long trial. Yeah, long trial. It's almost been 3 hours, jeez. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Miss Psssttt, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. A, you did it. I, you did it. Mr. McGilded. And that girl is his husband too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen him now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What else are you saying, fella? How did I walk out there a free man then? I don't think it was much to thanks to me as thanks to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. It is water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. Is it not? Uh-oh. My webcam went out. I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages for all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I can't possibly accept that much. Arabi West, you're humble people, are you from the east? Well, if you insist. I have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded even. Everything is very certain. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. What's this, officer? It is sooner than I was led to believe. Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There are some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It is time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? After the trial? That seems a bit weird. Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. It is a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was there too. Don't move. Whereas I want to say, can't move on. She would just take forever to load that thing. Mr. Strayed, would you mind putting that thing down? You're grown up. Sorry? And I ate all grown ups. Ah, there you are. Naughty running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha. Oh, doing a play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty colour, I thought to myself. You have to be shrouded in smoke, though, at all. I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. Tell her what's it what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory. What for? So apologise, of course, sir, to my technician. What, you mean, say sorry? I say sorry to what? When you've done something wrong? Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see, I know you want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye bye. I'm so sorry for all those fuss. And she's gone. She's a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yeah, you're right, but where to? Yeah, where are we gonna live? Oh, yeah, what accommodation have you set up, Psssttt? You're always in touch with us. We haven't had any time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London that we had to rush here. All our travelling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings, but at this late hour of the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to the worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we can spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it might be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London will freeze a young person's soul just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. The 1,000 guineas would be paid for a lovely one room, or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper and the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Ooh, cutscene.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water!
Oh? The omnibus is on fire!
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Who's in there? Is
Good God.
Is Magnus McGill? There's
Someone in there.
Oh. This can't be.
What's going on? Who the fuck set fire to it? What? Okay. That's the end of that trial. Huh? I'm gonna save it there. The next trial we'll be doing will be the Adventures of the Clan of Cocoa Roll for this. For Chronicles. That'll be in like 2 weeks. So next week is case 2 of Apollo Justice. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this game. Not the game, case. We're not finished with the game yet. And yeah, let's find somebody to raid. I'm gonna check my following list first to see who is alive. Let's raid Spanky Rambles. Let's raid him. He's playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Oh yeah, I think we raided him last week. He was playing with Adrian's Revenge. So yeah, let's go raid him. Hope you enjoyed this stream. Hope you have enjoyed this case. And yeah, Apollo Justice next week, and I might I might stream again tomorrow and play some Minecraft. I want to get a build done. And yeah, I shall see you guys either tomorrow. I'm not even putting raid command yet. I shall see you guys either tomorrow or next Friday, either for Minecraft or Apollo Justice. Check out all my socials in the link tree that just got posted in chat. I managed to set up a separate timer command that goes off like every hour. That goes off every like 45 minutes. That goes off like every hour. So yeah, like half an hour after the donations one gets posted. So yeah. Anyways, let's go raid.